and you can't see anyone except for whoever's speaking, which in this case is me right now. My name is Colin O'Connor. I'm the assistant principal for academics. This is my first year in this role, but I've been with Jesuit for, I think this is my 11th or 12th year. Who can judge with a year like we've had? But I've previously been the director of curriculum development and English department chair, so well acquainted with not only Excel honors and advanced placement classes, but our whole curricular offering. And we're glad that you're able to join us tonight. This is the pre-session before College Info Night, which will be hosted by the members of the counseling department who are here on the call listening, but waiting so patiently for their turn. It looks like we've got well over 100 people, which is about the number roughly we were expecting. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And tonight, this pre-session is to give a little bit of information for families about our honors courses, which are sometimes labeled Excel, honors, or advanced placement, depending on a couple of different factors. And since we're on the cusp of the months-long project for scheduling for the following school year, we want to make sure that everyone has the information that they might need in order to make good decisions for their kids. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And Chris, actually, would you mind just muting yourself?
Got it.
Thanks. All right. So as I said, welcome. Tonight's about figuring out or helping you, give you some information about figuring out whether or not your son might be well suited to any of our honors offerings in our courses for next school year. We try to use a model that allows students not to be tracked into a particular program for all of their courses, but allows students the freedom to demonstrate skill in a particular subject area or interest in another, and then choose the courses that kind of meet the needs that they might have to determine their own academic success. And our honors course offerings are one of those ways that we can challenge our students. So tonight I'm going to run through a couple different things. A big part of it is really differentiating for folks between Excel, honors, and advanced placement courses. And then spending a little bit of time talking about the benefits of taking on this kind of coursework, as well as reminding folks that it's not particularly healthy to jump in and try to take all advanced placement. There is a balance that needs to be struck for students so that they're not just devoting themselves wholly to their academics, but they're also filling their lives with meaningful co-curricular involvement as well. A little bit also about the next steps, since we're, as I mentioned, we're on the eve of next week, beginning the Excel, or not the Excel, just the regular scheduling process with the rising senior class. And then trying to leave a little bit of time for questions and answers. Because we're using this webinar format, which is pretty sweet, if you have any questions throughout, go ahead and find the Q&A box or Q&A button on the bottom bar and open that up, and you can type in a question. And I'll try my best to keep my big screen up here. So if I'm looking up, it's because I'm checking on the questions. I'll try to answer some of them live or otherwise answer them at the end. Okay. So let's get started and talk about differentiating between the honors course offerings that we have, right? The accelerated offerings that we have. The first kind that students are likely to encounter are either our Excel or our honors classes. These are the ones that are designed and pretty much controlled in-house. They're high school level courses, which means that they're just a slightly more advanced version of their partner course. They're not going to be, can we go? Can we click back? It's okay. There we go. They're going to cover the same kinds of material as a standard high school course. They're going to maybe go into a little bit more depth. They're going to have perhaps more papers or projects. The idea is with our Excel classes, we're giving students in kind of an onboarding as a freshman or a sophomore to what might be an honors level or an AP level or advanced placement level course in subsequent years. In some subjects, we do have what we consider an honors level class. They're designated as honors. Those classes show up in the math and the world language departments, for example. Otherwise, freshmen and sophomores might see things like English 2XL or Geometry XL or Spanish 1XL, and then progress potentially on through the honors level to the next level, which is the AP level. Actually, I forgot that I had a list there of what our XL and honors course offerings actually are. If we go back one slide real quick. Thank you. You'll see that these are the XL classes are at the 1 and 2 level, or the freshman and sophomore level, and the honors levels are usually at the third step in a particular course progression in just a couple departments. Thanks. The other offering that we have, and we have many, is the AP course offering. And AP is a designation from the College Board. As you can see, it's a registered trademark of the College Board. AP courses are designed to be college level courses that we offer here in high school that are intended to reflect roughly what's taught in an introductory college course in that particular discipline. So for this reason, there is no such thing as something like AP Geometry or AP Pre-Calculus, because those are not college level classes, but something like calculus is. So students might progress through pre-calculus honors on to advanced placement calculus because they're going to be taking that kind of introductory college level class in high school. At the end of an AP course, students take AP exams, which are nationally designed and benchmarked exams that measure their mastery of the college level work that the class was working towards. And then depending on how students score, and depending on the college that they end up attending, colleges may award credit or placement into advanced level classes as they enter as a freshman. So let's click through, and you can see there's far more. There's a wider variety of AP course offerings because if you think about the way math and world languages develop, they develop sequentially over time. And so there's only going to be a couple of classes at the end of the track that are going to be advanced placement. But in something like the sciences, for example, we have sophomores who might start taking AP science classes by taking biology or chemistry. The world language classes are at the 4th level. So AP Latin, AP Spanish, and AP French, those are each the level 4 versions of those classes. As well as our social science offerings. Just this year, we're offering human geography for the first time, AP human geography for sophomores. English has a junior and a senior level course offering in AP. And there's even music theory, AP music theory in the visual and performing arts department. And then we have 2 computer science AP classes. I'm going to take a couple questions since this is a little bit, the distinctions can be a little bit fuzzy, and I've got a couple questions here. Honors is not considered a college level class, meaning it's not potentially going to get anyone college credit when they arrive in college. Whereas, depending on the school, and I'll get to that a little bit later, depending on the school, a successful performance on the AP exam for an AP class may earn a student college credit, whether that's credit just towards a particular standing as a maybe entering even a sophomore standing if they have enough AP credits, or it actually advances them from the first class in calculus on to perhaps the second. Students are allowed to take more than one AP or honors course in a semester. That's a question that was here, and I answered that one as well. XL or honors classes for our in-house GPA calculations count the same as an AP class. They all award a 1-point GPA bump to students. There is a question again about the difference between XL and honors. It's just a matter of step. They're both in-house determinations. Each of them is again not going to earn anyone any college credit. They're just advanced versions of the high school level class. And there's only a couple departments that offer the honors level class, and those are the classes that are intermediate step between an Excel track and the AP. We do not offer AP classes during the summer. That's a good question. Because AP classes are built on and they're delivered on the full year academic schedule, with students taking that nationally benchmarked and administered test in May. There's no summer option for those. Which of the classes are available to sophomores? Would you mind, Wasma, clicking back one? Thanks. So sophomores can take, in terms of the AP classes, sophomores could conceivably take human geography AP. They could take AP biology. They could take AP chemistry. And that's about it. It's, oh, sorry, and AP computer science principles, potentially. These other offerings, unless they come in significantly ahead in their track as freshmen, which is very rare in math and world language to get them far enough ahead that they would be in the AP class as a sophomore, then those are the sophomore AP offerings. How much weight do college admissions place on AP classes? I may actually ask one of our counselors to step in and give a little bit more on this, since they know a little bit more about the world of college admissions. But I will say that the presence of AP and honors classes on a student's transcript shows the rigor of their overall academic program. Colleges don't necessarily need to see that students are taking wall-to-wall AP and honors classes, but the presence of those on the transcript with solid performance is definitely a strong showing for college admissions purposes. Anyone from the counseling department want to weigh in on that a little bit too?
Colin, that's perfect what you said.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So,
Sweet.
and we can, you know, when we have our session, we can kind of talk about it also.
Sure, thanks.
Excellent.
And there's a difference, again, between the grade a student earns on our campus for performance in the classwork for an AP class, and then the score that they'll receive for that exam that they take in May. That is the culminating event for the College Board's potential credit. So those are two separate things. It's the grade and the presence of that class on a student's transcript that's going to show for college admissions purposes that a student has kind of undertaken that rigorous coursework. It's the score on the AP exam that would potentially earn them credit when they get to college. Let's see, I'm going to clean up a couple more of these. No student is automatically placed in any of these classes, whether they're Excel, honors, or AP. It's a part of the scheduling process. Students determining whether or not they are eligible, which our catalog indicates what are the eligibility requirements for each of the different kinds of classes in the different departments. But so the question here is, if your son was in Excel classes freshman year, will they be placed in AP classes for sophomore year? No, not necessarily. They may be eligible for one. They may be eligible for an Excel or an honors class at the next level, but it is not a given. They will have to select it during the process. Placement into those classes is determined based on that eligibility. Departments will consider students' eligibility, and then they'll make a determination about whether or not a student will continue into a particular class. And I'm not going to get into all of the details of what that might look like in each department. The catalog, which will be published on the website shortly, kind of goes into those particular details. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get moving. And I'll come back to some of these questions in a little bit, but I don't want to get too bogged down with questions right now. I got a little bit more to get through. Okay. I want to point out we do have a relatively new program at our school called the AP Capstone program. It's run by the College Board, administered by the College Board in the same kind of way as other AP classes, but it sits alongside the other classes that make up the AP program. These two courses that make up the AP Capstone program, AP Seminar and AP Research, are significantly different. They are inherently interdisciplinary in nature. and they're based entirely on developing students' ability with inquiry, and then delivering on projects, research-based projects of their own design. And that's, like I said, that's very, very different from any of the other courses in the AP catalog, because these courses are pretty much an empty shell into which the teacher and the students work together to develop a curriculum and a program that will help them to complete the tasks that are shown here on the screen. And these particular tasks are significantly longer and more rigorous than, say, any of the end of course exams, or even just papers or projects that you might find in other AP classes. And they're entirely unique to seminar and research. And I don't really want to turn this into a full AP capstone program or plug or anything like that. It's not really a program that's necessarily for everybody. I would say, and I can say this because this is my interpretation, this is not College Board's interpretation. It's somewhat akin to elements of the IB program, the International Baccalaureate program, where these classes will not earn a student college credit. They're just intended to give a student an extra level of experience of college level thinking and work in high school. But these classes do not correspond to an entry level college class the same way that AP Biology or AP Calculus might. And students who choose to go through the AP Capstone program are eligible for, fancy pieces of paper called the AP Capstone Diploma if they also pass 4 other AP exams or the AP Seminar and Research Certificate. This is the second year we've had the program at our school, so we have our first group, our first cohort in AP Research right now. I'm the teacher. I taught AP Seminar last year. And so this year, at the end of the year, we should have 16 students who are eligible for either of these, like I say, fancy pieces of paper, but who will have completed the AP Capstone program at the end of this particular year. Let's move on. So some general thoughts about the benefits of taking any of these advanced classes at Jesuit. Obviously, there's the opportunity to experience just a greater degree of rigor. And in some of the classes, especially the AP ones, a college level pace, college level content, and some college level thinking skills, right? They're not necessarily going to be pure rote memorization, just at a faster pace. There's going to be a lot more application of critical thinking that you might think is a bit more akin to college level classes. As I've already pointed out, as an answer to a question, taking any of these classes is valued in the college admissions process. These courses do provide students with a challenging and rewarding academic experience. For students who are high performing, the emphasis on the challenging part, right? But it's also, I've taught several different AP classes in my time here. There is this great deal of reward if the students put a great deal of their work and their intent into the class. AP courses especially provide that opportunity to earn valuable credit and advanced placement into college. And then the all important, right, the all interesting Excel Honors AP GPA bump of 1 point. Some other, bits about this particular set of classes, because there's a faster pace, or because there's maybe a little bit more freedom for the teachers to roam a little bit with the curriculum, there's a little bit more opportunity to explore some topics in depth. So maybe they won't explore more topics than the regular level class, but they may dive a lot deeper on some of them. There definitely is more time, more time devoted to intense projects, longer papers, labs in science classes, for example. So there is a bit of more of a time commitment, and there is definitely a high expectation, like I said, not for rote memorization, but for critical thinking, analysis, synthesis, use of evidence, bringing together multiple perspectives, and then having strong written and verbal communication. The written communication portion is important in pretty much every AP class, not just the English classes. Some notes about AP exams. I mentioned they're nationally administered, so they're designed and administered by the College Board in May every year. most of our classes at Jesuit require as a part of their enrollment that students end up taking that exam, because the whole design of the AP course is that exam, is being able to pass that exam. On the days that they take that exam, they don't have to show up for their other classes because they'll be doing 2.5 to 3.5 hours worth of intense exam work on those days. Most of these tests have multiple choice questions and then some free response items on each of them. There is a cost associated with the AP courses because of those exams. For example, this is the pricing scheme for this year. The prices tend to go up by about $1 or $2 each year. And the reason there's a fee for these is because they are read by both college level professors and other AP teachers from all around the country in order to be scored. So we proctor them and give them in-house, but then all of the tests are sent out to be scored. And so there's some information here about the fact that there is a cost associated with it. There is assistance available for students who may need that financial assistance to pay for these exams. If you're curious about whether or not a particular college or university, whether or not they're going to take or give credit for successful performance on an AP exam, the College Board has a database that tries to pull together information about individual schools' policies. So you could look at the individual school's website, or you can go through this link on the College Board website for credit and placement information. So what does it mean to be taking on these kinds of classes? Because we're talking about someone who's still trying to live a balanced life in high school, we would hope. But a typical day for someone who's taking 3 or more AP, honors, or Excel classes, and also playing a major sport or engaged in some major co-curricular activity, like in the visual performing arts department, for example, there is a significant homework component. There is a significant study time component that might be in addition to what they would expect in a regular level class. So taking on this course load can be, it's an important consideration. Am I going to be able to, is my son going to be able to maintain some sense of balance so that I can do what I want to do with my co-curriculars, get home, eat, get my work done, and sleep as well. And so counselors, when they're working on student schedules with their students in the coming months, can hopefully ask your sons to consider, like, is this a doable amount of work for you? If your son has not taken an Excel, honors, or an AP class before, it's not time to jump to 3 or 4 of them, right? It's time to step into it a little bit more easily, rather than to go rushing in, because we don't want a student to overcommit in that regard. Okay, let's turn the page. It's important that we have kind of a dialogue about this, both you, your sons, and then your sons' counselors and their current teachers, right? Current teachers are going to have a pretty good sense of whether or not the student's ability level or skill level or interest level is going to be commensurate with what's needed for them to be successful in the next level if they're going to punch up to honors or AP. So students are encouraged to ask the counselors or teachers for advice, but also to think a little bit about their own interests, right? If I'm a student who doesn't particularly enjoy math, doesn't particularly enjoy the puzzle that can be advanced math problems, maybe pushing in math in the AP track isn't what I want to do. Instead, I want to do some more application. So I want to move more into the advanced sciences. There are many steps involved in this process. It's important to know what our deadlines are for applying for, appealing for, or perhaps, hopefully not, but perhaps dropping an advanced level class. To talk with students who are currently taking the class or have taken the class in the past. And then when you're in the class, finding classmates you can rely on, you can work with to study together or collect notes if you're absent. And then just think right now, in the class that I'm in, what could I do that could help me get ready for that next level if I want to move up to that next level? There's a couple links here for AP specific information. and just kind of general college career planning. So a few links for people to explore. It's a little bit weird to give links right when you can't actually click them, but we'll make sure that these links are available for folks. Okay, so that'll do it. Now I got to go back and clean up some more questions here. Let's see. There's a question here of whether we've decided we'll have a 7-period or 8-period day next year. Right now, we're planning on a 7-period day. So we're planning on scheduling 6 academic classes. Bonus percentage, does honors classes give to your GPA? It's actually a bonus grade point of one bonus grade point for honors, Excel, and AP classes. There's a question, are AP classes typically for juniors and seniors? Yes. Right, there are a couple that are available for sophomores, none available for freshmen, but most of them are available for juniors and seniors, with some sophomores might be interested in taking AP Human Geography, which is a sophomore specific level class. And then we do have some sophomores taking Chem or Bio. Is there a strategy in how to choose particular AP and honors classes? What is your son interested in, right? That's the strategy. Is if he's gonna be challenging himself, I would hope he's gonna like it, right? So I'm gonna hope he's gonna like that subject. I taught AP English for a number of years, and one of the things that was always really kind of heartbreaking as an English teacher was to have someone who was kind of forcing himself through the AP English literature class in particular as a senior, but didn't really like to read. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because it's a literature focused class at the college level. Let's see. I'm sensitive to the fact that we are about 3 minutes before we get to the next portion of the evening. There are a number of questions here that I'm going to stay on and provide some typed responses to. I'm going to scroll through and see if there's any of these that are good for the good of the order. Is there AP prep time before the exam? Yes, yes. Every teacher knows the design of their exam and often gives students pieces of exam-based practice all throughout the school year. And there's usually a period of intense exam review just prior to the actual exam itself. Let's see. Wasma, would you mind going back to the website links slide for some folks? For English in particular, the junior year course is AP English Language and Composition, or AP Lang for short, and then for seniors, AP English Literature for short. That's the most common way that that's done. There are some schools that reverse that particular order, but students don't get to choose. They go AP Lang and then AP Lit. Is AP Comp Sci Principles good for sophomores to take? Sure. If your son is interested in computer science, especially, that opens up the possibility that he could take AP Computer Science A, which is significantly more advanced than Comp Sci Principles, and even potentially our newer kind of capstone class in that particular strand of classes in Intro to Game Development for folks who really want to get in and kind of play around with coding in a more advanced way. So a student who may want to, explore computer science more deeply, trying to get into that as a sophomore is definitely a good idea, but not a requirement. Juniors are in that class as well, and occasionally some seniors make it into there too. Let's see. AP exams do not affect the grades because the AP exam scores come in July. So one question here, explain AP chemistry versus regular chemistry, for example. Are they the same class? Should you take AP chemistry after regular chemistry? No, students should kind of choose which one they want to do. AP chemistry, for example, is going to move significantly faster than regular chemistry. There's going to be way more advanced calculations that are required in that particular class than in the regular chemistry class. And so students are kind of choosing. They're not taking a regular version and then the advanced placement version. The only exception to that might be a freshman who's in biology XL might still take AP biology, just because the AP biology curriculum is so massive. Okay, so I'm gonna hand it off to the Director of Counseling, Amanda Smith. And like I said, I'll stay on the call. I'll turn off my camera so you don't have to see my furious typing, and I'll try to answer some questions that are left here. But again, my name is Colin O'Connor. I'm Assistant Principal for Academics. Feel free to email me with any of these questions as well.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. Welcome. It looks like we've been joined by quite a few others. So